Sup ballers! Welcome to another video that hopefully distracts you from your really annoying roommates that haven't left the house in over a month that make you question whether murder is worth it. We pick up after a disappointing 2023 season with renewed ambition at turning around this ball club that Jeff Bridich has ruined beyond belief. First off, here are the before and after personnel hires. Nothing really special this time around, but here you go. For salary arbitration eligible players, I mostly offer contracts near estimates with a few exceptions. I offer Forrest Whitley a 6-year contract worth $85 million. This guy should be a great pitcher and I wanted to lock him in cheap while I could. Blake Snell accepts a 5-year deal worth $105 million. I had to think about this for a bit and I may regret it later, but for now I'll deal with it. Cody Whitley and Nick Castellanos are non-tendered and subsequently released. I make a few trades, the first with the Yankees sending Pablo Lopez and 2 minor leaguers for Garrett Cole retaining 25%. Kind of wish they would have retained a bit more of his salary, but I could hardly complain. After all, I got Garrett Cole.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
The next trade is with the Reds, sending David Dahl, Sam Delaplane, and a minor leaguer for Robert Stevenson and a minor leaguer. Dahl was beginning to regress, and I thought a reliever was more important at this point than a middling outfielder. But more importantly, the minor leaguer catcher Joe Mack has some pretty decent power potential. Granted, he'll be in a backup role for the foreseeable future, but not a bad backup to have. Lastly, a trade with Arizona where I send Mike Zunino and Lisandro Santos for Seth Beer and 4 minor leaguers. Santos had some potential, but I don't think it would have been realized with the Rockies. To prepare for the Rule 5 draft, I add Francisco Morales, Maki Backstrom, and Dan Dallas to the 40-man roster. We reached the free agency period, and here is some of the available talent we have to choose from. I offer Jordan Hicks a 2-year contract worth $24 million. Pitching is always in need with the Rockies, so hopefully this works out. Ender Inciarte accepts a deal worth $5 million over 2 years. Needed a backup outfielder now that Dahl is gone, so this should fill that hole. We reached spring trading and Alex Faedo is out for 4 months and Ross Adolph is out for 2 to 3 weeks. Opening day is here, and after the usual demotions, here are the pitching assignments and lineup I'm left with. As per tradition, I play the opening day game, and here is the lineup I went with. Not a great game on our end, albeit competitive. Despite this home run from Paul Goldschmidt in the bottom of the 4th inning, we could not overcome the Giants and lose the game 3-5. Not great. Shortly after, Ross Adolph is no longer injured and is demoted to AAA. Alex Verdugo is out for 3 weeks and I call up Jordan Brewer to replace him. This is my new lineup. Tucker Davidson is no longer injured, and instead of keeping him at this point, I decide to designate him for assignment.
Bye, Felicia.
Nolan Arenado has a game to remember and cracks 3 baseballs over the outfield wall. Neat! We reached May with the fairly impressive 19-10 record, a .655 win percentage, first in the division. No idea how long this is going to last, but it's nice while it does. These are my pitching stats, as well as my batting stats. I make a trade with the Cubs, who send Jose Alvarado, Misael Urbina, and Omar Fernandez for Paul Goldschmidt, Carlos Martinez, and Shane Baz. The owner wanted me to sign Goldie to an extension, and I may have to answer for trading him.
Was that wrong? Should I not have done that?
To make this trade work, I demote Manchu Chu and Seth Beer while calling up Kyron Paris. These are my new pitching assignments, as well as my lineup. Austin Adams is out for 7 weeks, and I call up LJ Newsome in his place. These are my new pitching assignments. Alex Verdugo is ready to be activated from the injured list, and to make room, I demote Jordan Brewer. This is my new lineup. However, that doesn't last long, as Alex Verdugo is out for 4 months.
Oh, we're doing this again? I have a bag of confetti saved up.
To replace the injured Verdugo, I call up Nico Decolati. This is my new lineup. We enter June with a 36-20 record, a .643 win percentage, first in the division. Hopefully we can keep up the pace and march into the playoffs at the end of the season. These are my pitching stats, as well as my batting stats. Taking a look at Julio Rodriguez, he is absolutely killing baseballs and has to date a .367 batting average, a 1.245 OPS, 25 home runs, 4.3 wins above replacement, and 68 strikeouts. This is only June, and this man is indiscriminately swinging at baseballs, and has been pretty damn successful. I make a trade with the Yankees, sending Jordan Hicks and LJ Newsome for Edwin Diaz. Granted, taking a chance on Ed Luz Diaz is probably not the smartest move, but I gotta try something to improve our bullpen. To make this trade work, I call up Dan Dallas. These are my new pitching assignments. Draft time, and we have the number 16 pick this time. Only thing of interest is our number 6 pick wants a $12 million signing bonus.
LODS of EMONE. What's they spell? Loads of money!
Kyron Paris is out for 3 weeks, and I call up Tanner Allen in his place. This is my new lineup. Liover Peguero is out for 3 weeks, and I call up Mackie Backstrom in his place because I'm running out of infielders. This is my new lineup. Austin Adams is no longer injured and is sent on a rehab assignment. Mid-season goals time, and the owner is good with my performance despite not listening to him. Okie dokie. We get to July pretty much in the same position as before, with a 50-34 record, a .595 win percentage, first in the division. I'm starting to see some cracks, but I think we'll be okay. These are my pitching stats, as well as my batting stats. The Dodgers agreed to a trade, sending 2 minor leaguers for Omar Fernandez and Manchu Chu. Mostly did this to get Chu off my payroll. To make this trade work, I call up Austin Adams from his rehab assignment. These are my new pitching assignments. Kyron Paris is no longer injured and is demoted to AAA. Alex Faedo and Liover Peguero are no longer injured at the same time and are both sent to rehab assignments. Greg Cullen is out for 5 weeks, and I call up Liover Peguero from his rehab assignment in his place. This is my new lineup. Last trade before the trade deadline, I send Austin Adams, Nico Decolati, and a minor leaguer to the Twins for Zach Little and a minor leaguer. I think Little will be a decent average player, but he's having a really good season to date, and I'm willing to give him a shot. To make this trade work, I call up Seth Beer.
Beer.
These are my pitching assignments, as well as my lineup. August is here, and we're starting to slip a bit at the wrong time with the 61-48 record, a .560 win percentage, and are now second in the division. I still think we'll be okay because this is where I expected us to be all this time. These are my pitching stats, as well as my batting stats. Per tradition, I played the game after the trade deadline, and here is the lineup I went with. This game was pretty close throughout, but we ended up losing in the worst possible way, on a wild pitch.
What the hell just happened?
And as a result, we lose 3-4 to the Padres, and we really kind of needed to win this one. Misael Urbina is out for 2 to 3 weeks, and I used the opportunity to adjust the roster a bit, also demoting Dan Dallas and calling up Alex Faedo and Kyron Paris. These are my pitching assignments, as well as my lineup. Dante Mendoza is out for 1 to 2 weeks, and I called Dan Dallas back up to fill the spot on the roster. These are my pitching assignments. Mackie Backstrom is out for 3 to 4 weeks, and I call up Grant Levine in his place. This is my new lineup. Greg Cullen is no longer injured and is sent on a rehab assignment. Dante Mendoza and Misael Urbina are no longer injured and are sent on rehab assignments. That's twice that 2 players have been healed from their injuries at the same time. Maybe they should just not injure themselves in the future.
No shit.
Liover Peguero is out for 5 weeks, and I call up Greg Cullen to replace him. This is my new lineup. We enter September, obviously feeling the effects of injuries as we fall into a 74-64 record of .536 win percentage, third in a division. I'm a bit worried now that we've had this steep of a decline, but hopefully we can recover in time for a playoff berth. These are my pitching stats, as well as my batting stats. For roster expansion, I call up Misael Urbina and Dante Mendoza. These are my pitching assignments, as well as my lineup. And the only thing of note during the rest of the regular season is sending Mackie Backstrom to AAA after he is no longer injured. We finished the season having rallied towards the end with a 92-70 record, of .568 win percentage, second in the division, and have claimed the first wildcard seed. These are my pitching stats to end the season, as well as my batting stats. Taking a final look into Julio Rodriguez, he definitely was our most productive contributor on offense with a .314 average, a 1.058 OPS, 62 home runs, which is a record for the Rockies, and contributed 7.9 wins above replacement. We must set our playoff roster, and here are the pitching assignments and lineup I've chosen. Of note, a 4-man rotation, and Alex Verdugo is back from his injury. We faced the Dodgers in the wildcard game, and this is the lineup I went with. And as you would probably guess, the Rockies couldn't compete with the Dodgers. Andrew Vaughn went yard with his 2-run home run in the bottom of the 5th inning, but the game wasn't very competitive and we lose 5-9. Very disappointing if I'm being frank.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
As far as who won the World Series, it wasn't the Astros again. Thank God. To end the season, Jose Alvarado doesn't meet the criteria for his vesting option, making him a free agent. Garrett Cole executes the remainder of his contract because why not? Ken Giles voids the remainder of his contract. The owner has mixed feelings on my job performance but extends my contract anyway, and the league expands by 2 teams. Normally, this is where I jump ship and take control of one of the expansion teams, but that's not what we do in this run. For that, check out my expansion draft series. My new video will be pretty fucking cool. Until next time, like, comment, and subscribe because only you can prevent forest fires.